Yeah.
Mhm.
I was curious because I was going to ask a question about NPCs. About you said about 85% of the planet of people may not have consciousness. 85% of people might be NPCs. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there was a
You
study
haven't studied.
that was made. They said that there's at least about 85% of the population walking around with no consciousness,
Mm.
and that's
So
very important because due to the fact that when you have a consciousness, that creates the delineation to where you're able to decipher right from wrong. So when
right.
you're able to use critical thinking skills and decipher, those elements in itself, that puts you in alignment to where you galvanize morality. So that's why
Mm.
the great majority of people in this three-dimensional paradigm, they don't have any morals, they don't have any principles, they don't have any values. They just kind of like, just going along with the system instead of using their edification to reverse certain things that subjugated us on a political level, spiritual
Mm.
level, on a dietary level. It's an influx of things and in many different afflictions that brought it down to fallen humanity.
So when you talk about these NPCs going along with the system, the dominant system of society is one that we see that is attempting to keep our vibration at a very low level. Now, if it was the other way around, if it was flipped and the dominant society was attempting to keep society on a high vibration like it was in a golden age, do you think these NPCs was follow the light workers? Like they just follow. So they follow these evil entities now, but at another time these NPCs follow the light workers because that's what they're here to do. They're here to follow whatever's dominating at the time. Is that how it works?
Pretty much, because when you look at the inception point of the hierarchy of control, everything is
Mhm.
being facilitated by archons, or whether you want to call them draconian reptilians.
Right.
But one thing you got to understand is that an NPC is basically a computer generated spirit that's connected to the gematria body that's connected to the metatronic overlay. So this three-dimensional reality is being facilitated by artificial intelligence under a technocrat system. So that means that the great majority of all these technological devices, they extract neurons from the body and upload it into neuromorphic clouds and things of that nature. So this is why the great majority of artificial intelligence is basically the foundation and basically the foundation of how NPCs is able to galvanize their consciousness, because they're basically connected to the paradigm of artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is the third eye for the beast.
Mhm.
So with that being said, if the polarity was reversed, you can, reap the benefits of a golden age to where you can have, NPCs following, chosen ones, because the great majority of people in our family, what I'm saying, like your family members, your neighbors, the people that you work with,
Mhm.
a lot of those people are NPCs. Some of those people are really good people, but an NPC is one of those things where it's not, they were basically reincarnations. They was brought back to this planet, what I'm saying, because they're subjected to the emotional energy, because your emotions is connected to the physical world, which is the illusionary world, because your emotions are going to deceive you every time, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Because all this is based on the illusionary aspect of the material world. So what NPCs, their purpose is based on the concept of reincarnation. They reincarnation until they uh, get out of the metatronic overlay. Now, the difference between NPC and a chosen one, a light worker, they were incarnated to this planet to bring a certain polarity, to bring a certain edification. So that's why you see the great majority of the great majority of chosen ones and light workers. They were incarnated in their family, basically break generational curses, right?
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
generational curses that subjugated their bloodline. So this is
Mhm.
why the great majority of chosen ones, they might be the black sheep of the family, but they end up being the goat eventually, right? So
Mhm.
because you know, you might be the only one in your family that might be vegan. You might be the only one in your family that has this knowledge. You might be the only one in your family that's trying to clean up, the afflictions that subjugated your family. So that's the difference between the chosen one and the NPC. Now, NPCs within your family structure, a lot of them, they can hold you back on the emotional level. So that's why I tell people all the time, your emotions is not real because it's connected to material. So that's how, the same concept with reincarnation, like when you die, you see that white light or whatever, that is basically the moon trying to galvanize your energy to bring you right back to this realm. So you might see in a holographic projection, you might see the things that you used to love to pull you back into this energy again. So that's why you got to follow the path of La Lut, which is path of the middle way, meaning that you have to go through a process of self-realization, and that self-realization is an initiation process to where it puts you in alignment to where you become a master. So when you become a master, that's when you use your emotions as a navigation system to infiltrate, to basically ascend up way beyond the three-dimensional reality. So that's the difference between chosen ones and NPCs and light workers.
Indeed. Do you think that sometimes when women have pregnancy complications, do you think it may be due to the fact that it's a light worker trying to have a child or bring a soul into this realm with an NPC, and it's just not going to work? Like, are light workers, the NPCs, are they able to have children together? And if not, that's why we see so many pregnancy complications.
Yeah, well, in actuality, to bring it all the way back to certain demographics of people, you have some people. There's a certain demographic, they're able to have children a lot more easier when to where they don't need ROGAM shots and things of that nature on full moons.
Mm,
So that's how you know that the lunar cycle is connected to this, this three-dimensional paradigm that we're living in. But
mm,
an NPC and a chosen one can have a child. But like I said, uh, over the course of time, you have to clean up that genetical. It requires a certain genetic cleanup during the
mm,
course of the time because it's kind of like the same concept. Like you might be in a relationship with somebody, you might be, on the path of enlightenment, and that person might just be subjected to going to church. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, it may not work out. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's just pretty much the illusionary aspect of this planet, because it's all based on distractions. But a chosen one and an NPC can have a child at the same time.
indeed. What's this metatronic overlay that you keep mentioning? Metatronic overlay. I hope I'm saying that
Metatron
right.
overlay is just basically just the material plane.
Hmm.
It's just really the material plane that's connected to the gematria body. The gematria body is connected to the ley line grid system of this planet that keeps you entrapped.
For those, I noticed some of you in the chat are asking NPC. He keeps saying NPC. That's non-playable character, right?
But yes,
Yeah,
yep,
it's not. It's like when you the background players when you're in a video game and they're really not there. They're just there to fill in the empty space so you can have a scene in the video game. They've termed that N not M NPCs. NPC is the music machine, but this is NPC. So yeah, aka Agent Smiths. Is that another way to put it, Bdell?
yep. The
Yeah.
best the best way I can explain it is if when you playing Grand Theft Auto, this is just based on a simplistic level. When you playing Grand Theft Auto, there's the main character has a mission. Anytime you're a light worker, anytime you're a chosen one, you have a mission to fulfill on this planet. Your mission might be like Yaki, you know what I'm saying, to revitalize the dietary system of our people. Or you might be, subjected to giving people the edification of knowledge, just like Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Rod Hayes, and things like that. You might be incarnated for that mission to uplift fallen humanity. So that's the difference between how that's basically my foundation and my perspective what an NPC and a person who's chosen on this planet, because most of the time, like I said, you chosen, you have a purpose, you have a mission. But the NPCs are the people that you see just walking around on Grand Theft Auto talking to themselves. They just wander around on autopilot with no
Right,
conscience. Yeah,
right,
because they don't
indeed.
have nowhere to go. But you have a destination. You know what I'm saying? On a lower form, on the video game, they might just be go steal a car or whatever. But in reality, when you came back to this planet, you came here, right knowledge, you came here to clean up, you know, the mess that was made by, you know, the plastocracy.
Mhm.